So we are now making Norwegian cardamom bread. The recipe, there's a number of different recipes out there.
There are no gloves whatsoever attached to it.
So Patty is kneading the bread dough that we've already made.
We have these nitriles at Restaurant Depot. The ones.
And you're basically punching it down once the yeast gets out of there. So Patty, tell us what you're doing.
I am kneading the bread.
Folding it over, squishing it down.
Yep.
A little bit of flour on your board, just so it doesn't stick. How long do you have to knead it for?
5 minutes.
Okay. So you've already covered it and let it rise.
Yep. For 45 minutes.
Punching it down again. So after she kneads it, punches it down again, we're gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes before we divide it up for the braid.
I let it rest. Now we're rolling it out. Into a nice long log. Pretty even. You need it even.
Hey, Lori.
And now I'm dividing into thirds. You're going to make about 12-inch ropes out of these. That's one.
getting your room for the 31st. The 31st. But when I got the confirmation this morning, it said the 1st. Because it has to be the 8th if you guys want to stay over there for that. So,
There's about 2.
I'm not sure. I know that it's me. I don't know if we'll stay till Monday or Tuesday, but that's what she got. And I don't know if I want to go over there now with the comments that are acting around.
And there's 3.
Didn't really happen. I had a thing on 25 last night. Some lady who lives in town, her daughter went in the cold stone cream. Yeah. And she was denied first, so she didn't have a mask.
And now,
And the mother-in-law comes. And one of the girls standing up for her coworker walked out and said, "Man, you don't want to be here, you don't have to come here. You want to be a girl." And she got fired. They're trying to offer her a death penalty. She doesn't want it. Yeah. I know.
then we're going to braid them. So once you have gotten your 3 logs of dough, you pinch the 3 at the top together. So you're going to start your braid. And then you kind of pull and braid at the same time because it just tends to shrink back up. And sometimes people can get this to look super fancy. I'm not one of them.
You just make it super good.
It tastes great, but one side of it just doesn't look the best. You try to get it as tight as possible. I mean, there's a technique that you can start in the middle and braid to one end and then braid to the other. Sometimes that makes the ends look a little bit better, but we're not doing that today. You can certainly try to do that because the ends just definitely look a little bit better if you do. You try to just tuck this underneath. And then you can still kind of pull on it a little bit. And then you're going to use your baking sheet that's sprayed. And you're going to stick it on here. And I'm going to wait 1 minute because I am going to go and get an egg. So here's your finished product before you put an egg wash on and sugar. And I'll be right back. A bowl and you beat it with a fork so it looks like this. Then you get a pastry brush and you just paint the bread. You don't want to leave a whole bunch on there because you don't want to make scrambled eggs on top of your bread, but paint it so that it will hold the sugar. That's just the only reason. And if you don't want to use egg, you can use milk. And then you can go and get that expensive, I don't even know what it's called, but the sugar is actually bigger than regular fine sugar. But pearled sugar. And you go ahead and just put it on here. The pearled sugar does look better because you can actually see it. So what's going to happen is you're going to put saran wrap over this, and then you're going to put a towel over it, and you're going to wait another 45 minutes. And then once the 45 minutes has come, you're going to go ahead and sprinkle it again with sugar, and then put it in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Now, you really want it to be brown, not like dark brown, but you want to be golden brown. It needs to change color. And it needs to look a little bit like this one right here. But this braid, see what I'm talking about, how it's fat on the end? So this one's a little bit more pretty, and this one, if it would have been tucked, would have been a little bit more presentable, but you know what? It all tastes the same. So I'm going to cover this with some saran. Is the towel still over? Now, you don't have to cover it with saran, but I just didn't want egg all over my towel. And then you just cover it with saran and leave it in a place where it's not drafty, so it'll stay some warm, and it'll rise again. And then when you're done, take this off, take off the saran for sure, and put it in the oven, and it'll get a finished product that looks a little bit like this, or a lot like this. Okay, so now it's time to unwrap your bread. Make sure you take your saran wrap off. And then take a little bit more sugar, because you see it kind of dissolved into the bread, so you want to put some more sugar on top. And then you just place it in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes. Or keep checking it and make sure that it's kind of golden brown on top. And then let it cool and slice and enjoy. There you go.
There's no vision test anymore as long as you're not changing addresses or anything like that.